one's joined quite yet. I know I'm going to join real quick, so then that way I can see how it's all happening and if it's all good. I think it's good. Yeah, I think we're all good. Now, for those of you that are either watching this later or that come, I think I'm the only one watching it at the moment. Just to make sure I can keep up with the chat and everything once people join, if people join. But for those of you that come and check this out later, welcome. Welcome to Madden and welcome to my interesting idea of putting a football team together based off of just Madden characters. Or, I mean, Marvel characters. So basically, like, you have. Take Marvel characters, and then what you would do is obviously Madden players, football players on here, there's a certain way to change the rating, make sure that their rating fits how their stats are in the game and everything. And so what I went in and did is we kind of looked at the different powers of different superheroes, and we took them and we went through and we were like, okay, so Quicksilver, obviously super speed, he's gonna have a 99 on his speed rating. Guys like, Captain America, who's a super soldier who has enhanced everything, he's gonna have high stats on all of his different sections. And I just kind of went through that and I created players the best that I could. Obviously, like, I can't make them all look like they would actually be, but we got them as close as we could. And we got the stats for each person. And right now we only have 47 players on the team. Now, those 47 players are all Marvel characters. I didn't have any extra backups, anything like that, where we just used random people from the game, whether they were made up or, actual players. I wanted to make every character a Marvel character. So I went through and created every character. And there's 47 players, but we did have 46. And the thing is we're also in week 2. If you're wondering why we're in week 2, that's because I wanted to test this out before we did anything. And so we're in week 2. We tested it out in week 1, and of course in week 1 we got an injury in the first week. So my star running back Quicksilver will not be playing in this game today, so you'll have to see him in a future episode of the series if you guys like this. Of course, if you guys like this, make sure you guys hit the like button, and we'll continue this series later on. I don't know if you can see it on the bottom ticker there, but from Jonathan Coachman, he tweeted out 6 weeks. That's thanks for Pietro Maximoff, which obviously is the name for Quicksilver. Sorry about that. I was just responding to a message real quick. I did see that someone else joined in. I'm going to assume that was Jacob because he had said that he might watch it. So I kind of explained that went through, did the stats according to superpowers and different things. So let's take a quick little look through the roster. Remember that we do have one injured player because I did play through the first game. So Piotr Maximov is out for another 5 weeks. And as you can see, he's an elusive back, which means that he's very quick. I made it so, like, obviously, he's speedy, can make quick little jukes and spins and different things to get around people. Problem is, as we know, he's not exactly like the strongest, strength-wise. Obviously you can have like that good punch from building up all his speed and everything, but compare his strength to someone like the Hulk, and he's going to be obliterated. But let's go through the roster. Some of the names are a little bit weird, but we will not worry too much about that. We're just going to make sure that it looks like we're more worried about the character. So we start with our quarterback for the team. Bullseye, obviously I had to go with, and yes, his first name is Lester, but nobody knows his last name, so that's why we just went with Bullseye as the last name. Obviously, everyone knows that Bullseye is one of the most accurate characters in the Marvel Universe. He used to be a pitcher, I believe, and ended up killing someone. But, like, he can use anything as a weapon, like, with throwing it, so perfect thought to choose him as quarterback. And basically, like, you look, like, accuracy 99, like, throwing 99, all of that. Secondary, with a little lower rating, you've got Remy LeBeau, aka Gambit. And, of course, like, his throwing is still pretty good, but he's not as, like, accurate, or, he's more a regular guy with just some powers. Even though, like, Bullseye is, yes, a regular guy with with that ability, it's a different thing when it comes to being quarterback. And now you might be like, yo, where's Hawkeye? Well, we'll come to him later. I had a special spot for him. Running backs, we've got Pietro Maximoff, obviously super fast, super agile, but he's injured right now. Our backup running back is, now it says Sam Guthrie, but for those of you that know the X-Men universe, that is Cannonball from the X-Men. You could see him in the not-so-great movie New Mutants. But, made him so he's more strong, that burst, because he's not as agile or, not necessarily super fast, other than when he has that burst of speed. And then because Quicksilver got hurt, we've got Rhino coming in to take his place for a little bit. Rhino will probably move to a different position later on, but imagine Rhino coming at you. Like, he's arguably one of the greatest overall Like, he doesn't have a great overall here, especially because of his awareness and different things, but, like, if you gotta think, like, speed and everything, he'd be a great running back if you think about it. Because who would want to stop him? And then, last but not least, you have Flash Thompson, and I had to throw in Flash Thompson, and I did it before he got, bonded with Venom, because yes, Flash Thompson does bond with Venom, and obviously Venom is amazing, but we have Eddie Brock more for that part. But I want to get Flash Thompson because he was a football standout in high school, and I thought it would be funny to put him in. And obviously he's just an average dude compared to the rest of the people on this team, so it's kind of funny. We've got Luke Cage as our fullback. fullbacks kind of are that like big blocking dude for the running back, and so obviously you got to use one of the strongest dudes in all of comics, one of the bigger guys, and so you got Luke Cage blocking. Wide receivers, you got to have some people with some swagger, with some speed, with some of those jumping abilities, and a lot of the time with flying, I tone that into the jumping and speed abilities, so that like that added to it. Sorry about that. Responding to another message. But so we got to go with obviously Mr. Miles Morales as one of our wide receivers. We got Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, Richard Ryder, aka Nova, Kurt Wagner, you know, the Nightcrawler, because who wouldn't want to see like Nightcrawler, popping in and out of like he just poof, or should I say bamf down to the end of the field, and then you've got Johnny Storm in there, which yeah, I think it's probably a good little group there. Tight ends. This was where I had a lot harder time finding people, um, because there was a lot of like defensive tackles that I thought like people that I put on defense that could have been here, but I wasn't sure. Rhino may move to this position too, so we'll see. But we've got Drax the Destroyer, and Prince Namor. So kind of like this Drax is honestly way more powerful and like speedy than people like make him out to be. And then we've got Prince Namor, who is the first mutant ever, and so we got those two as our tight ends. Moving on to our tackles, on the left side we've got Bruce Banner, obviously the Hulk, so one of the strongest guys on the team. William Foster, this is aka Black Goliath or Giant Man. Um, so he's the backup over there for Bruce Banner. Of course, so we've got the other Giant Man, Hank Pym, backing up the big man Wilson Fisk, who is obviously the most like sturdy dude. So that's why I figured he'd be perfect for the guard position. We've got the center and the captain of the offense, Ben Grimm, coming in shortest of all the members on the offensive line. But obviously Ben Grimm, the Thing, is one of the strongest characters in all of comics. I mean, he's one of the few people to have been able to lift the Blob, I believe. So there's that. We've got Baymax. Based him off of his Big Hero 6 movie instead of the comics. So he's a little bit weaker, but he's in there. But speaking of like the Blob, which we had just a second ago, Fred Blob Dukes is our right guard, and obviously the Blob's immovable. Like he's got so much strength, so much power. Why not be there? And then just just to fill it in, why not give in the comics it would be Miles' friend, but in the newer movies, why not give Peter's friend Ned a chance to shine on the team? So we've got Ned Leeds in there. And then for right tackle, we've got Kane Marco, aka the Juggernaut, as our right tackle, with the backup being the hitman known as Tombstone. If you guys don't know who Tombstone is, he's a hitman who appears in sometimes Daredevil comics, but in mainly Spider-Man ones. I know that he was featured a decent amount in one of the old Spider-Man cartoons in the 90s. Definitely a cool looking design. We go to our defensive line. You've got Hercules. Went with the name Zeusson because he's son of Zeus, play on the Odinson. And then Eddie Brock as a backup. And you got like some of the strong, like one of the strongest dudes, literal like demigod playing on the defensive line. You got Eddie Brock playing in there with like more agility. Victor Creed taking the other side. Sabretooth followed by backup of Lord M'Baku, who, if you guys remember M'Baku from the Black Panther movie, that's who this character is. And I figured great backup, great defensive lineman. Same with Sabretooth. Especially because Sabretooth is often usually on like kind of on all fours. You've got the Alpha Sentinel. Yes, this is just one of these Sentinels that faces the X-Men. I figure that would probably be one of the most powerful things in all of comics, so why not put him on the line? Piotr Rasputin, one of my favorite characters, Colossus, in there as a backup, and Flint Marko, aka the Sandman, finishing up our defensive line. Then you've got our linebackers, and of course, he actually happened to beat out Wolverine. You've got Wade Wilson, and the cool thing about Wade Wilson is he's got an old-timey helmet because he wants to be just like his role model, Steve Rogers, who's the captain of the defense, who I had to give him the old-time helmet because, he's Steve Rogers. Like, I wonder if it will show it here. I don't think it shows right here. No, but you'll get to see it of that how the old timey helmet that he happens to have. And you've got Hank McCoy, the Beast from the X-Men, another great, agile, fast, strong character, and Frank Castle to fill out the middle linebacker position, along with Thor and Big Man Sasquatch, taking those final two roles in the middle of the defensive field. Then you got all of our defensive backs, starting with the star player of the whole entire team, Norrin Rad, aka the Silver Surfer, obviously one of the strongest, fastest characters in all of comics, so had to put him in there. Peter Parker, because even if he can't always, even if the catching doesn't always go well, he always makes sure to catch whatever's falling. Then we've got the Prowler, and then to fill it out, I thought it would be funny to have two of the same guy. So Multiple Man is in there, and basically he got paid twice. So Multiple Man is there twice. And then we've got Craven, Reed Richards, King T'Challa, who actually got Player of the Week for last week, and Matt Murdock filling out our safeties. And this is where we find our punter and our kicker. The punter, now you have to understand, I needed someone with a strong leg, and so why not go for Batroc the Leaper, known literally just for jumping and for how strong his legs are. So he's our punter, with the guy you were all looking for, Clint Barton, being our accurate and deadly kicker, making sure to kick every goal in. And you may be wondering why I chose the Titans of all teams to do this on. I decided the Titans because you think kind of like superheroes, Titans, both very powerful things. So yeah, let's get ourselves into this game though. We're in week 2 at home. We've got the Colts, and we're gonna play this game and see how it goes. Hopefully we win. So the defense definitely has more star power, but the offense definitely has some strong contenders. So we'll see how this goes. We've got a couple goals. We've got to try and get 3 passing touchdowns. I didn't see what the other 2 were. I think it was 20 or more first downs, and I don't remember the last one. Something about like 300 yards, something.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the
I don't know if
Tennessee
you guys knew
Titans.
this, but the coach,
With
Jonathan
that, let's head
Coachman,
up
was
to
actually
Nashville for the
a
Titans
WWE
home
guy for a
opener.
little while.
On the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thanks. We are across the Cumberland River from downtown Nashville at Nissan Stadium in Tennessee. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Number 88, I believe that's Nova right there. Yeah, Richard Ryder. He had a dominating game in the first game. There's Andrew Luck. Alright, I think we're kicking off. Yep. So kickoff towards the middle.
Two teams
Mr.
here fresh
Hawkeye.
off week one victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? This fielded at the 2.
Nice
Bring it a
hits.
few past the 20
There's big
to the
Sasquatch.
23-yard line. The Colts heading out, and Andrew Luck, the one leading the way, coming off a season in which he threw for nearly 4,600 yards.
Oh, he had a really good first game.
39 touchdowns, second most
I mean,
in one
not 2
season in
interceptions,
his
but the
career.
rest.
Now a first down throw, Lock. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton.
You're going to be able to see there's going to be a lot of big hits.
Second down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Should be good.
It's a great example of how valuable centers have become in the
I think
NFL.
you're going to find it funny also on offense when you see some of the size differences between people.
To handle big nose
Well, it's not as bad on defense because they're all pretty big dudes.
and also able to move and get out into the
Ooh, nope, that was my fault.
blocks.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the
Automatic
football.
first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So
So the yellow
apparently there's a
flag
drive
came out,
goal.
and that leads
So we got to
to
get
new set
a
of
sack
downs
for
for this offense.
Mr.
First and
Hercules.
10. The shotgun snap for Love. He completes this one to Mack. Give him 8 on the play, and it's a second down.
Oh, there's a little Matt Murdock cameo.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. You know you create those great mismatches. Throw it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Well, look now at our starting defense. Currently number 1 in the
there
NFL
you can
against
see
the
it.
run.
And that's a ranking that feels good, right? To be number 1 and be the top of your profession. But here's the problem. It's only week 1.
1 week, yeah.
Can they do it 15 more times? If so, then we really got something to talk about.
That's the challenge. Here's Love.
Oh, is that an interception? Norin Rad with the interception.
Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Nice.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
All right. First career touchdown for Miles Morales. I think we can do that. Oh, see, the problem is though, is my offensive line is really slow, and so thus, bullseye gets hit so much.
I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down now, Guthrie. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Got to come back.
Third down. He'll look to throw. He completes it to Wilson.
Ooh, did we go for it? Did we go for it? I think we go for it.
Before the first at about the 36-yard line. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He sets to fire deep.
Nice.
At the 6-yard line. First and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty
See,
good
that's the thing. I mean, part of it's like obviously everyone's really good, but you've got like you got bullseye with that 99 on accuracy for everything.
Start to this game, they're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on 4th down.
This would be a really good spot
Only a
for
yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
you know,
From inside the 5.
Rhino to come in.
Now a handoff here to his running back.
This cannonball can't get it done.
Push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Oh, of course, they bring in Rhino now.
So far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's
Now we went for it
incomplete.
last time.
So they opted
Did we
to
go for
pass
it now?
on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on
I say we
4th
go
and goal.
for it.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now.
There we go, touchdown, Miles Morales.
For a Titans touchdown. From 3 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Walking into the stadium, we saw a ton of people donning the jerseys of this rookie quarterback, so you know they love that opening drive, and he throws a touchdown pass.
You get a little bit of confirmation about what they had hoped, right? Because they thought they had a quarterback.
There we go.
They're thinking they have a quarterback.
Clint Barton sticks it through.
I believe they've got a quarterback. Look at them elbowing each other up in the stands. That's our guy.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him
Wade
down the
Wilson
field
right
in
there.
8 plays, and it ends with a Tennessee score.
Looking like a dork.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3.
Oh, Sasquatch with a big hit.
Let's go.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Back in the Colts come up now 1st and 10.
Trying to get like a fumble or something.
Starting the drive with a back to back. And from the 25,
Oh, that was
they
a
work
big
this to
hit
the
by
20.
He knocked out. He forced 2 fumbles in the last game. Only one of which Craven recovered.
They take him down at the 26.
You got King T'Challa right there. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
Explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the blood.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Now a hit.
Ooh, fumble. Is that
It's picked up by the Titans.
Wade Wilson with the touchdown. Deadpool gets it.
And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice you're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
You know, I think after the kick, I'm going to probably either turn down the volume of the commentators or turn it off. They seem like they're either a little loud or a little annoying. I don't mind it when I'm just playing on my own, but I know that you guys probably don't necessarily want to hear them. Or that's a bit loud. So we'll do that. That should be a little bit better.